Hello everyone and welcome to Notorious Yu-Gi-Oh! I am Notorious Cly, and today we are doing a recap or a what I've learned style video on my Magical Musket Resonator deck. I was hoping this would be a King of Games deck profile, but grinded as much as I could and couldn't quite get there this weekend. Currently sitting at Legend 3, I made it as high as Legend 4, and I've played 97 total duels if my counts are correct, and I've won 61 of them. That's a win rate of 62%. It's a little lower than what I'm used to, but all things considered, it's still pretty good. I firmly believe this deck list is a King of Games level deck. Anything that can win 3/5 of its games is going to get there eventually. You just got to give it enough time. I am currently out of time, I guess. There's plenty of time left in the ranked duel season, but I really wanted to get a video out for you on Tuesday, and that means I needed to hit King Games by Monday, and I couldn't quite do it. I'm doing the deck profile now because I mentioned I wanted to get something out on Tuesday, and in addition to that, I wanted to kind of wrap up this little Magical Musket Resonator foray so I can move on to other decks, other topics, and maybe even other formats. So let's talk about this deck. I have the same lineup as last time except for one small change in the extra deck. We're running 3 Wildwind, 3 Crimson, 2 Starfire, 1 Caspar, 1 Synchron, 1 Creation, 2 MST, 2 Forbidden Lance, the 1 Crossdom, 3 Resonator Call, 2 Desperado, and the 1 Dancing Needle. So same standard main deck lineup. And then the extra deck, we got Nova, Hot Red, Doom Dragon, RDA, Red Rising, Darken, and the only change I made, which was adding Samurai Destroyer and dropping Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. I made mention in my other video of wanting to swap out Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane, and I'm pretty glad I did. Samurai Destroyer has come up a few times and even stole me a couple games that I had no business winning otherwise. And since I'm not playing red anymore, Bane is a little tricky to make, and the Synchro 7 has been nice to have. It's nice to be able to flex a Starfire and a Creation into a level 7 if the occasion would so call for it. I didn't really make any changes to the deck other than adding Samurai Destroyer because I don't believe any small changes are going to significantly fix the issues that this deck has. With that being said, let's talk about what I've learned, and I'll give my closing thoughts on this deck too. First and foremost, one thing that has become blatantly obvious to me is that this is not the best way to play Resonators, and it's probably not the best way to play Muskets either. Both archetypes are probably best played on their own. The constant need for a Musket to be on board in order to use your main form of non-monster based interaction really hurts the Resonator half of this deck, especially when you're going second. There are a ton of times when you open a Musket Spell Trap, Crimson, and Wildwind, and you're stuck trying to figure out the best way to sequence everything to not lose. You're stuck between flexing the Resonator half of your deck to bait out the interaction, and hoping that's enough to eat through your opponent's board so the Musket half can come in and save the day. Or you're stuck in a position where you could potentially normal summon your Musket, start using your Musket spell traps to try and clear out the board, and if your opponent doesn't remove that Musket from the board, Crimson and Wildwind are just dead in your hand. This feels pretty bad when you've played full power Resonators and you know what a handful of gas can do to your opponent's board. It also feels really bad when you don't draw a Musket, but the only back row you draw is dependent on having Musket. There were a bunch of times when I thought, if this Desperado or if this Dancing Needle was a Chalice or a Book of Moon or Scolding or really literally anything that isn't tied to a Musket, I would win here. Another thing I've noticed about this little hybrid build is the Muskets significantly decrease your ability to kill your opponents quickly if you don't have access to a lot of your Musket spells and traps. Since in this list, that's usually the way you're required to remove stuff from your opponent's boards to clear the way for your big Synchro Dragons. The normal way Resonators would kill your opponent is by doing a double Synchro Dragon play, which is usually contingent on getting red either from the hand or from the deck via Crimson, and since we're not playing red, in order to make the list consistent, your double Synchro Dragon plays are almost non-existent in this list, and if you do get one, it comes at the expense of the entire Musket half of your deck. Mortgaging 1/3 of your deck to attempt an OTK almost never feels worth it. I think that's enough of the negatives. I really did have fun playing this list, and while I don't believe it's the best way to play either archetype, this deck is incredibly fun to play. When this deck works, you feel like a demigod. The upside of going first and getting Nova plus musket control is so incredibly good. When it happens, you feel unbeatable. You get to sit on the biggest, baddest Synchro Dragon around, have it protect your musket, and use your musket to out advantage and interrupt your opponent out of the duel. This deck also feels very fun to play because it requires thought, which is not something I'm used to as a Resonator player. Usually it's Crimson go Burr, Big Dragon Synchro go Burr. Sometimes the thought this deck requires is for the best, and sometimes it's for the worst. There are some very unique and interesting interactions that you won't really find with these two archetypes in any other format. Weaving the two of them together seamlessly is incredibly fun and incredibly rewarding. I think a really good way to describe this deck is high ceiling, mid floor. Both halves of the deck are good enough to keep you around for a couple turns, but rarely are they good enough to win the duel for you alone. They need to be backed up by each other or by your tech choices and staples. With that being said, when you can play both of them together, it is very hard to stop. I've had a few people ask me since posting the video, hey, should I go get the musket? Should I build this deck? And my honest opinion is no. If you already have both archetypes or the majority of both archetypes laying around, I would highly recommend putting it together. But I don't believe there's enough here to warrant going into 2 mini boxes and a main box just to build it. As a quick aside, I really wish Konami would fix Duel Links' economy. I know Master Duel isn't perfect, but if we had the Master Duel crafting system, I would 100% without a doubt recommend you build this deck. Since Duel Links' economy, for lack of a better word, sucks, I can't in good conscience recommend all of you go spend the resource required to have fun with this, and that sucks. That really feels bad on my part. I won't get too long-winded about this. I think that's for another video. To wrap this video up, since I'm coincidentally at 97 total duels played, I figured I would play 3 more games for all of you live. This will get me to an even 100 and will save me from having to edit another replay video. If you guys want the extra replay video that I have laying around waiting to be edited, let me know. If not, I've already got some things planned for the channel and I'm excited to work on them. Alright, that's the deck, that's a recap. Let's queue up and give them hell. Searching for opponent. Konami servers, don't fail me now. Alright, let's see what we got. Yamayugi? Could literally be anything. Destiny, draw, shenanigans, to be expected. Alright, we're going first. Oh, that's cool. I'm about to rank down. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself live. Not a bad hand, all things considered. This is one of those tricky hands here, where like I really want the Starfire on field before I use the call so I can start getting advantage off the Starfire, but that's not an option because Crimson's got to be first. So we're going to go grab Crimson. And Special Crimson, always in defense because I'm paranoid. Wildman, also always in defense because I'm paranoid. Synchro 6 for Red Rising. Yeah, all my free-to-play Resonator cards are prismatic. I absolutely adore that archetype, and I had to bling everything out. So, Red Rising, effects, target Crimson. Crimson survives the DD Crow check. Alright, we're in business. Crimson effects. Oh, I goofed. I probably should have traded the Synchron in for something just to get it from deck for free, but that's okay because we are going to get it back and still have Demon's Resonance live to swap it out for something later. But I'll probably grab the creation back. Now here's the question. If they're Yamayugi, and I think they're on Dark Magician, they are going to have it out for Red Nova. So do I commit all the way to Red Nova? Or do I sit here and see what I can do? See, this is one of the struggles. Normally I'd be content to sit here, because Starfire would probably be some form of interaction, but I am not afforded that with this little hybrid. I want to put Synchron in Grave so I can get something back to flex. You know what? Risk it for the biscuit. Let's go all the way to Nova. Challenge them to have it. Challenge them to have it. And I think we're going to get a Resonator back. Swap it out for... Let's just go Crimson for the follow-up. And I have Crimson Starfire for the follow-up. I know I could normal Starfire here, try to trick them into being a bad player and using their spell traps, in one of the columns to get cast bar, but we're going to play it safe and just keep the guaranteed Synchro 8 in my hand. Assuming that they'll have to burn a lot of resources to out Nova. And let's see how many resources they have to burn. DMC, grab DMC. I'm also talking a little bit too much, so my time is a little down. Yep, okay, there's after life points. DM, goodbye Nova. If they have literally anything else, I'm cooked here. This was probably a mistake. I should have built wide instead of tall. Can they kill me? This is probably one of those times where the deck requires thought for the worst. Had this just been a normal Resonator play, I could have not done Nova, just built a wall, set whatever back row I had, or flexed into something else to try and keep my board. The odds that this is something to bring a Dark Munition on the field is pretty high. So let's just hope here that they mess up their timing. We're going to keep the second Crimson in hand. Hopefully they go for the Crimson. Crimson off the Red Rising. Bring back. We go for Okay. What are they doing with Starfire? They went with Warning Point Starfire. Okay, cool. We got the extra Crimson. Wildland. Special for free. Starfire can't attack. Not like it would matter much anyways. Always got to be Crimson here because we're locked into Dark Dragon Synchros and we want to get to an 8. Do I wipe in attack? No, because that gets rid of my Starfire. Do I send an attack? Oh, yeah, that's game. We're just going to send. I forgot he paid half his life points. We're just going to send and pop. Hopefully they don't have anything goofy. Send. Attack. Do I win? I win! Alright, look at that. All things considered, not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, give me the rewards. No threat of rank down. Cool, even if I lose the next two, you guys won't get to see me rank down. I am saved from embarrassment. Alright, let's see what's next. That aim wasn't bad, but I think it showcases some of the resistance these two archetypes have when you want to mix them together. You're always tempted to try and get maximum value, but you're not always enabled to do so. Going second. Okay, hopefully we get a good hand, and if not, this will maybe show one of the weaknesses of the deck again. And it does. So Lance, not terrible. MST, not terrible going second. Crossstomp, pretty bad going second without access to a musket in hand. It's just a dead card. Okay, they're on some rank 3 shenanigans. Desk Box? Are they just playing pure Desk Box? That would be pretty cool. Milling. Are they just playing like mill good stuff? Okay. Dante. Pretty sweet. Yeah, they're just playing mill good stuff. Pretty cool deck. I'm gonna have to check it out after. Okay. Already lefty driver. That's pretty sweet. Glow bulb. Yep. Black dragon. That one hurts. How many more hurts do we have? 3 more. So they can get black dragon back. Can't be destroyed. Two tackle Crusader to hand. Yeah, that's not great. You want Crusader in the grave, right? I mean, I guess you could take it from field to grave. That'll work. Also, if they don't put any interaction on board, like one RDA just outs the entire board. Let's see if I can get to it. Alright! Saved. Saved by the call. What do you have in hand? What am I missing? What interaction am I missing? Ah, okay, quick effect pop. I might not be saved at all, considering they're just going to pop me before I even get started. See, this is one of those situations where if Crossstomp was just Forbidden Chalice, I would win. I'd be able to out their entire, well, I don't know if I would be able to win, but I'd out their entire board, and we'd see how we do from there. So, yet again, here's one of those thinking spots. Do I challenge it with the Resonator engine, or do I just automatically flex into the muskets and try and use the Crossstomp to my advantage, and then hope that Next turn, I can proc Caspar's effect to start getting more interaction. Either way, I think I'm dead. And if I'm going to go out on my shield, I'm going to go down swinging with the Resonators. That is my thing after all. For those of you who don't know, I belong to a Discord server, Guild of Gurus. And yep, they're going to pop. Okay, why are they popping a 1? Tackle Crusader. Okay, so that's why they got the Crusaders again. That is nifty. That is super nifty. Alright, we're just gonna set everything, I suppose. Except for Crosstown. But anyways, yeah, Guild of Gurus. It's a Discord server where a bunch of people who really, really like one deck and kind of specialize in it, for lack of a better term. Specialize in that deck, for lack of a better term. Just hang out, have fun, do tournaments, and help people learn how to play their favorite archetype. Mine happens to be Resonators, and I am the Resonator Guru. That doesn't mean I'm the best at playing them, it just means that I'm good enough to help, and I want to help. So, here I am. This is pretty much unwinnable from my standpoint, so we're just going to wait and see how they can kill me. So this is tricky because I want the Wild Wind and Grave. So I might not want to lance the Nightmare Phoenix, but I think I'm going to lance the Nightmare Phoenix anyways. Just to see if I can get them to overextend into a Link 3 that hopefully doesn't have any interaction. Survive the turn, they put the Wild Wind and Grave on accident for me, and I can go from there. And if not, they can out Crimson if they remember which one Crimson is, they should. And then I'm in top deck mode. Unless they have Black Dragon with an unbelievable amount of material, so they can just keep recycling it and keep going. Pretty sure I'm dead. Let's see how they can kill me here. This is the first time I'm doing live commentary while dueling too. It's actually a little surreal. So I'm not actually thinking about the duel too much as I'm thinking about trying to entertain all of you. Not that I don't think it would save me in this instance. I opened pretty mid against a decent board with really good follow-up. Okay, that's the end. Go battle phase or I'm scooping. I don't have time for this. Do Black Dragons. That's awesome. Alright, thank you for going battle phase. I appreciate that. Good game. I think that was an example of the mid-floor of this deck. Okay, last one. Let's make it a good one. So this is for duel number 100. Will I have a 62% winning percentage or a 63% winning percentage? Hopefully it's a good matchup. I would really love to flex the full potential of this deck. That'd be kind of cool. Ishizu. Are they playing tier limits? One would hope not. I don't know if tier limits are ever going to be good enough. Well, I don't think they're ever going to be bad enough, in quotations, to come to Duel Links. Alright, starting in, all in all, not too bad. We have access into full Resonator combo, thanks to the Synchron and Demon's Resonance becoming Wild Wind. We'll see what they can do, and we'll see what we top deck. And I am looking for skill procs, and I have nothing, so I don't know what skill they have. But they're playing Abyss Actors. Be hilarious if they were playing the skill that turns everything in my graveyard to Skull Servant. That would really mess me up. Seal Tombs. Okay, so what happens with Seal Tombs? Let's go toggle on, because I want the MSD. And to the end of your opponent's next turn, another player can banish cards from their graveyards or special monsters from the graveyard. So it's basically die at Necro Valley as a skill. That really messes up the Resonator combo. Let's MST. Do we go Madonna? I think so, just to get rid of the scale. I don't really care about the set because I have Lance. I can challenge it at any time. No. Do I attempt to go Resonator stuff? Leave a Wild One on board. Hopefully they put it in grave for me and I can try to recover next turn. Or do I just flex right into Musket stuff knowing I have Desperado Lance in order to protect it? I think that's what we're going to do. Let's start the Synchron because I don't want it in hand. Always in deck. And does 100 attack matter? I don't think so. We're going to go Caspar, normal summon. The effect is negated anyway, so I think I'm just going to set Lance here. Battle. Maybe an issue putting Caspar on the field with Lance. Already being used. But they're not activating that back row, and that's fine. Sussy Rookie is fine to stand board. I'm going to hold that Desperado for something that I think can hurt me. Probably a scale, depending on what scale they got. Pen effect. Don't think Desperadoing that in the pen zone will do anything other than get rid of the scale if they go grab another Mellow Madonna. So we'll see what they do. Okay, I would love it if you go right to battle phase. You not advancing the game state in main phase is good for me. Dark Hole. Yeah, I think that's gonna keep Sassy Rookie on board. Sassy Rookie. We're gonna do that to Caspar because I have the Desperado to keep him safe, and it's gonna give me another point of interaction. What do I want? I can only use one Desperado per turn. They have something. What could it be? Interesting question. Do I grab the Starfire for the non-tuner for Resonator stuff, or do I grab another point of interaction? I think I'm gonna grab this so I'm guaranteed the non-tuner for Crimson follow-up because I'm still really not that threatened with the Desperado. Do I even want Caspar to stick on board if they don't have anything else to do? I don't think I do, because I want the board free for Crimson. They're about to end. Do I Desperado anyways, just to get rid of it, make it less sticky? It means I don't have to go Dark End. Do that. What do they grab? Wild Hope. And I got access to the Resonators anyway. So let's read Wild Hope. Effects. Destroy by battle or card effect. They can add one Abyss Actor from the deck to their hand, except for Wild Hope. So destroying it really isn't that big of a deal. Here's where red would be great. Boop 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 boo. I think I'd do this. Caspar column. Who do I want to grab? Do I want to grab Creation just to... I don't think it matters because I normal summon Crimson, grab Wild Wind, Synchro while keeping Caspar on board. It's not the greatest, but it gives me the most point of interaction. I grab Crimson, activate Caspar. What do you have? What do you have? Divine Wrath. Okay. I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. Funky do anything grave? Nope. Okay. Let's trade a Crimson for a Wild Wind. Crimson. This is actually a halfway decent game. I know not a lot has happened, but it's like a game of chess where we're both circling around what we know the other player wants to do. And neither one of us wants to be the one to overcommit or overextend into a mistake. I think I win here unless they have something in the hand, because I'm going to grab this, I'm going to make Nova, I'm going to normal summon Starfire, and Starfire is conveniently 100 points bigger than the Wild Hope. So I'm going to have a big bad Synchro Dragon on board, Starfire to clear the way, and then Nova to swing for all of their life points. Kinda cool. Kinda cool. Grab back the Creation. Just in case shenanigans happen, Nova is very likely to stick on board, which means I get a free special. Attack. Go on. Yeah! I win. Alright, cool. 63% win percentage. Not bad. Alright everyone, and that's the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, all that nonsense. If you didn't like the video for whatever reason, you should still like, comment, and subscribe because you were captivated enough by my stupidity to stay here till the end. For what it's worth, I still plan on hitting King of Games this season. If I do, I don't think I'll make another video about this deck. I think I've kind of tapped this well a little too much. But I'll be sure to post something in the Discord channel, a link below in the description, and you'll probably see it on the Duel Links subreddit as well. That's going to be it for me. As always, be safe, have fun, everyone.